Hello, this is Ruth Ann McKinnon. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a haul video. These are all affordable fragrances. I would say the majority of them are under 20. I do have one that I have a couple that may have been in the 30s, but that would be the low 30s. Everything's very affordable. And I've looked up a bit of their notes. I've also tried them all, so it's more of a first impression rather than a full review. So I'm just going to get started with the first one. This is Rehab Silver. This is the only perfume oil that will be in this video. So the reason I purchased this is because it was a viewer recommendation. So thank you to whoever did that for me. I appreciate it. In one of my previous videos, I was kind of lamenting being able to find more citrus. This spring and summer, I really want to focus. I'm feeling like fresh citrus vibes. Like I really want that. I'm craving that. So I was looking for something that was citrus that would last longer, because citrus is a very volatile note that doesn't tend to be great for longevity. So this was recommended to me. When I looked it up, of course it features citrus. It's actually a floral musk fragrance. My experience is it's a citrus with a lot of watery green notes in it. It's very unisex, clean, very powdery and soft as well. And it's been compared to Creed Mountain Water. Mountain Water, is that the full name of it? Anyway, I don't know anything about that, but I am looking forward to using this. I'm going to use it mainly as a layering tool. And next, I have another viewer recommendation. This is Lancome O d'Azur. This came without a bottle, so it was, or without a box, I'm sorry. It was new without box. I purchased this on eBay, and it's probably the most expensive of all the ones here, and I want to say it was maybe in the mid-30s. And this is a full-size bottle. Lancome is a fine perfume house, you know, I have no complaints. So this is a fragrance that came out in 2010. It's considered a floral fruity fragrance, but I don't detect any fruitiness in here. I would say it's called fruity probably because it really features lemon. So I'm not going to go over every note, but what this really features is lemon bergamot. It's also got a heavy dose of pink pepper and white musk. It's really a clean girl aesthetic fragrance that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I haven't given it a full wear. I've only can give you my first impressions. And when I looked it up on Fragrantica, it was actually compared to Cristal Ouvert by Chanel. Now, I love Cristal Ouvert, and it's expensive, and I'm always looking for something to meet the need that I have for Cristal and Cristal Ouvert, because they are so expensive. And they're some of my favorite perfumes. This one is, and if I can find something that kind of meets that need that's cheaper, great, absolutely great. So I've compared the two, and in fact I'm wearing them one on either hand, and I would say Eau d'Azur does have very similar citrus notes to Cristal Ouvert. However, d'Azur has more floral in it. Cristal really does not have any discernible floral notes. It's a very aldehydic, harsh citrus, harsh in the best way. Now, I love this fragrance, so I'm not criticizing it. It's got a lot of bubbly aldehydes, where Azur, I don't detect a lot of aldehydes in. Cristal is much harsher. I'd say they're really not dupes of one another. They're not enough alike that one meets the need of the other. However, what I would say is if you like Cristal Ouvert or regular Cristal, you would love Eau d'Azur. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but they are similar enough. They're kind of like cousins, not siblings, but I love them both. But they're not enough. They're not close enough to say that they replace. This does not replace this, in my opinion. But it's a great fragrance nonetheless. Next up, I have something very different. I don't think I've ever seen this on YouTube before. This is, look at that bottle, you guys. This is Blass Hot. Here's the box. Hot. So now Bill Blass has a much more famous perfume that is in the same line as this, and that's called Nude, and that is a really sexy skin musk with a lot of aldehydes. It's like a nuclear blast Egyptian musk. This is very different from Nude. I wouldn't have expected them to be the same, but they are in the same line, so now you know. This is a warm, spicy, woody amber. This is one of those old school perfumes that they have everything, tons and tons of notes, very complex. I'm not going to go over all of them, but we've got cinnamon, sandalwood, vanilla. All right, so you've got this creaminess going on, creamy spiciness, amber, and then that all hits you in the face when you first spray it, and it's very strong. The longer you wear it, you get into the dry down. I was going to say die down, dry down. It's more honey. Honey comes out, so it becomes this slightly cinnamony honey, and it's just gorgeous. A couple of the other notes that I thought were very unique is bay leaf. Now I don't smell bay leaf in there. I'm assuming it's in there just to give character, and it also has oak moss. And I don't really pick up any greenness in here. Like I said, I'm sure those notes are in there just to add character, but this is a blast of a fragrance. It's really unique, you guys, and I want to say it cost me somewhere in the teens. I bought it on eBay. It's really unique. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this came out in 1991, which was the same year I had my second child, who now is married and has 2 children of her own. So it's been out a while, but it's beautiful, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. It's really more of a winter scent, so I'm going to plan on getting this out next, winter time or in the fall maybe. Next up, this is one I've had before. This is Oscar de la Renta Espirit Dasker. All right, so when I moved about a year ago now. I thought I had another bottle of this. I thought I had a backup bottle of it, and I can't find it. So I must have just thought I bought a backup or meant to buy one and didn't. So when I was craving it, looking for it, couldn't find it, I bought another bottle. So this is probably, of all of Oscar de la Renta's fragrances, is probably my favorite. It's probably also the most popular, outside of the newer ones that are in those little squatty bottles that are really expensive. And I'm not really interested in trying those because I've heard so many mixed reviews about how they perform so poorly, when I know a lot of the older fragrances really perform well. This one was released in 2011. I would describe it as a powdery citrus white floral. It hits you in the face in the beginning with a lot of fresh citrus, but it's not harsh. It's not a harsh citrus. It's more powdery, and then it comes in with a base of white florals. It's very pretty, very opulent. This is the kind of fragrance that you would wear to a wedding or your own wedding. This would be perfect. In fact, if one of my daughters were going to get married again and said, "Mom, of all your perfumes, which one should I wear?" I'd probably pull this one out, and I'm not kidding. It's one I think that all ages would probably like. Of course, everyone's different, but there's nothing really dated or old lady about it. It's also been compared oftentimes to L'Heure Bleue. Here's L'Heure Bleue by Guerlain. I would say Esprit d'Oscar is more like L'Heure Bleue than it is like Chanel No. 5, but they're very different. L'Heure Bleue really is more of a violet vanilla fragrance, and this, I think, may have some violet in it, but again, this is more like, this would be your grandma and this is your granddaughter. They're not that closely related. I would say if you like one, you'll probably like the other, but they're not dupes of one another for sure. And that's really all I have to say. Absolutely gorgeous, though. All right, next I have, what is next? All right, Whoa, look at that. I almost dropped it. All right. This is Rehab's French Coffee. And I know that this fragrance is having a big moment on YouTube. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I don't watch a lot of perfume channels anymore because, to be honest with you, most of them really focus on expensive perfume. And that is not my jam. That's not me. It's never been me. It never will be me. And there's almost no channels out there that really focus on my taste in affordable and or classic perfumes. So that's really why I started this channel. So French Coffee, of course, is a very modern fragrance. It was a fairly new release from Rehab. This smells like a creamy, warm yellow musk. That's the base of it. But on top of that, and filling it, and filling the whole room, is a sweet coffee. So if you go to Starbucks and you order any kind of sweet coffee, you know, there's kind of that when you walk into a Starbucks or any coffee shop where people are ordering a lot of sweet coffee drinks, there's this generic sweet coffee smell. That's what this smells like. And it's beautiful. And it projects like crazy. I had one time I was wearing this in a elevator, and someone came on the elevator and said, "Whoa, someone's drinking coffee." So I didn't pipe up and say, "No, it's just my perfume." But anyway, it's long lasting and it's gorgeous. It's sweet. All right, next up, I have another viewer recommendation. This is Camille Beckman, and it's called Camille. See that on there? And it's a body mist. Now, I've only tested it. I haven't worn it. But the reason it was recommended to me was because it smelled like Dove Pink soap. And I agree. It's like a slightly powdery floral Dove Pink soap. And so it's a really clean girl aesthetic. And you see the florals on the label. It smells just like that. Like you would... You know how on the labels they usually try to give you an idea of what the scent is like, and that's very accurate. Very accurate. It's a ladylike, powdery, clean, soapy floral, and I look forward to wearing this in the heat of summer. Next up, I have this one I was really excited about. This was a YouTube made me buy it. This is a Zara fragrance. It's called Splendid Bronze. I apologize. I'm getting over a cold if I sound a little congested. And it's in a nice, heavy, hefty bottle. I think this is my very first Zara fragrance. And I've heard too many bad things about the performance on too many Zara fragrances. And then the ones that are really popular that everyone knows are great go up in price. So I just don't bother. I've kind of written Zara off. But when I heard that this is like the original formulation of Alien before it was reformulated, I had to have it. So I actually went to the Zara website. This was about $30, $29.99, something like that. And that included shipping. And I've never smelled the original Alien, but I can tell you it smells just like Alien. It is just an absolute dead-on dupe for it. And it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I almost had to hurt myself to prevent myself from going and buying more because I'm trying to buy less. You wouldn't know it from this haul, but I am trying to buy fewer perfumes. How long is it going to take me to use this up, given all the bottles I have? And what do I need to buy another one for? I just don't. So anyway, I had to talk myself out of that, but it is gorgeous. If you like Alien, you have to get this. Absolutely get your hands on it. And I have 3 more, and they're all from the same house. So I'm going to start with, this is from Victorinox, which are the makers of Swiss Army knives. And this is called Mystique Forest, and here's the bottle. So I don't know why I bought these. I haven't seen reviews of them. I have not watched them on YouTube. I just simply came across them, I think, as I was searching, maybe on Fragrantica, maybe on YouTube, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, on eBay. Anyway, I absolutely love this. If you like green perfumes, you will love this. guaranteed. All three of the Victorinox scents that I'm going to present to you today are mass appealing, inoffensive, beautiful fragrances. They're all clean girl aesthetic. This one came out in 2014, and it's a woody green, earthy perfume. But when I say earthy, woody green, my first thought is that it's going to be heavy, heady, harsh. That's not what this is. If you were going to if you were a fairy and you were flying through the forest and the wind was blowing and it was a bright sunny day, it's more of that kind of a Mystique forest. It's a light, airy perfume. Some of the notes it's very interesting, these notes are fig leaf, apple tree, lemon, cardamom, carrot seeds, oak, and moss. Now, it's not oak moss, it's oak and moss and vetiver. There's a bit of a pine scent in here, but it's very breezy and soft. This is a light, breezy, soft green fragrance, and in my opinion, perfect for summer. So, and very inexpensive. This was, I think, $22 for this full bottle. Absolute steal. Absolute steal. Next up in the Victorinox, let's see. Okay, here's the box. It's called First Snow. Here's the bottle. You can see First Snow. Nice, heavy quality bottles. The lids are metal, like aluminum, but they have a lining to them, so they're not super cheap feeling. Very nice presentation and to a lovely fragrance. So this one came out in 2021. This features vanilla. It's a vanilla white floral with a lot of fluffy, powdery white musk. Again, clean girl aesthetic. There is a note of eucalyptus in here, and I think that just adds freshness. I don't actually smell eucalyptus, but I do get the vanilla, and in the base there's also tonka, which gives it a little bit more depth. It's a very, I would describe this as polite, understated vanilla. This is one you could wear anywhere. This is a understated office fragrance. And I would also say about all these Victorinox fragrances, there's a real Japanese vibe. You know how the Japanese fragrances, they're like polite society perfumes. They're ones that you can enjoy and you smell fresh and clean and you can drown yourself in them, but no one else around you will really smell it. It has a very light projection, very light touch. I would almost go so far as to say that all three of these would be safe in perfume-free zones, but only if you tested it first and did a couple sprays on skin. This is absolutely beautiful. Even though it says First Snow, I think this would be good for year-round. Honestly, it's not particularly wintry, in my opinion. Next up, I have the one more Victorinox. This has got the same kind of presentation. This one's called Morning Dew, and this was actually a tester. So it just came in a tester box, and I think I got the tester because the full new one was a bit more expensive. So I always get testers if I can get a better deal on the price. Again, Japanese vibes, ethereal, transparent, light, lower projection, very inoffensive and clean. This one is more of a fresh aquatic citrus, and there's white musk in here as well. I would say that one of the primary notes in here is pepper, pink, like a pink pepper, but it's not heavy. It's very light and fresh. Also, there is a note in here that I have never had in a perfume before, and that's Edelweiss. Like, what does Edelweiss actually smell like? I have no idea. But this has a note of Edelweiss in it. So if you're ever interested in what that smells like, get your hands on Wet Dew. Also, my description of this would include, it is very dewy, which would make sense. It smells like a wet, dewy mountain air early in the morning. It's a very soft, feminine, aquatic, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I think this would be perfect year-round, but it's probably best spring and summer. So that's it for my haul video. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.